Motivation without motivation. How to keep moving when you don't feel like it. Motivation is unreliable. It disappears without warning, and waiting for it has quietly ruined more lives than failure ever did. This audiobook is not about feeling inspired. It's about moving anyway. You will learn how to take action when you feel tired, uninspired, bored, or empty. Not by forcing emotion, but by removing dependence on it. Because the people who win are not the most motivated. They are the ones who keep going when motivation is gone. Chapter 1. Motivation is a trap. Motivation feels good. Motivation feels powerful. But it is a trap. It makes you believe that you need to feel something before you act. And the truth, that feeling will almost always disappear when you need it most. Motivation is unreliable. It comes in bursts. It fades fast. If you depend on it, you will stop. You will wait. You will stall. And your life will stay exactly the same. Key point 1. Motivation is temporary. Motivation is a spark, not a furnace. It burns bright at first, then dies. That spark alone never builds anything long-term. Real-world example. People sign up for a gym in January, fully motivated. By March, the spark is gone. The habit was never built. It depended on emotion, not action. Reinforcement phrase, if it requires motivation, it will eventually stop. If it stops, you stop. Key point 2. The hidden cost of waiting. Every time you wait for motivation, you give up time. You give up momentum. You give up results that could have been yours. Real-world example. A writer waits for inspiration to start their book. Months pass. The book remains unwritten. Progress doesn't ask permission. It demands action. Reinforcement phrase, waiting for motivation is waiting to lose. Key point 3. Action is the antidote. Motivation is not the engine. Action is. Movement creates feelings. Movement creates momentum. Movement creates results. Real-world example. The hardest step is the first one. Once taken, resistance eases. The mind adjusts. You feel better only after you move. Reinforcement phrase. Action beats emotion every single time. Closing statement. Motivation is a trap, and it's a trap you fall into every day. Stop waiting for sparks. Stop hoping you will feel ready. Stop negotiating with yourself. The first step is simple. Start moving. Right now, whether you feel like it or not. That is the beginning of real progress. That is the beginning of discipline replacing motivation. That is the beginning of momentum you cannot stop. Chapter 2. Action comes before feeling. You don't wait to feel ready. You don't wait for excitement. You act first. Feeling comes later. This is the simple, brutal truth most people refuse to accept. They think motivation is a prerequisite. It is not. Action is the prerequisite. If you wait for the feeling, you will always be one step behind. The world doesn't wait for your mood. It moves. And if you don't move, you fall behind. Key point 1. Feelings follow. Movement. Emotions are a result, not a cause. You cannot manufacture motivation before you act. You generate it by starting. Real-world example. A runner doesn't wait to feel motivated to go outside. They step out the door. 10 minutes later, they are in rhythm. The excitement follows action, not the other way around. Reinforcement phrase, you don't feel your way into action. You act your way into feeling. Key point 2. Waiting is resistance. Every moment you hesitate is a vote against yourself. Hesitation strengthens resistance. Momentum weakens it. Real-world example. A student waits for the perfect time to study. Hours go by. The test passes. The opportunity is gone. Waiting gave comfort, but cost results. Reinforcement phrase, motion kills resistance. Stillness feeds it. Key point 3. Movement is non-negotiable. Movement doesn't need excitement. It doesn't need a perfect environment. It needs a decision and a single step forward. Real-world example. A writer sits at their desk, uninspired. They type one sentence. 1. Suddenly, the story starts flowing. The act itself sparked the drive. Reinforcement phrase, start. Then the rest catches up. Start. Then the rest catches up. Closing statement, if you are waiting for motivation, you're already behind. Stop negotiating with your feelings. Stop asking permission from your emotions. Step. Move. Start. That first step, no matter how small, is the point where your life begins to change. Action comes first. Feeling comes later. And once you understand this, you will never rely on motivation again. Chapter 3. Discipline is a system, not a mood. Discipline is not a feeling. Discipline is not inspiration. Discipline is a system, a set of rules you follow, even when you don't want to. Waiting to feel disciplined is a trap. Waiting for the right mood is exactly what keeps most people stuck. The truth is simple. Systems remove negotiation. Systems remove choice. Systems remove excuses. Discipline is not an event. It is a structure. And if your structure is weak, your progress will collapse. Key point 1. Systems beat willpower. Every time, willpower is finite, motivation is fleeting, systems are permanent. They operate even when you're tired, distracted, or frustrated. Real-world example. The world's best athletes don't rely on feeling disciplined. They follow training schedules to the letter. The schedule works even on bad days. Reinforcement phrase, willpower fails. Systems don't. Key point 2. Remove decisions. Remove resistance. Every choice you defer is energy wasted. The more decisions you make, the weaker your execution becomes. A system automates consistency. Real-world example. A successful CEO dresses the same every day to eliminate trivial decisions. By removing choice, they preserve energy for what matters most. Reinforcement phrase, the fewer the decisions, the more unstoppable you become. Key point 3. Discipline is built through repetition. Systems aren't exciting, they are boring, predictable, and relentless. But that is the power of repetition. Habits cast votes for the person you are becoming. Real-world example. Writers who publish daily don't wait for inspiration. They show up. Every day. Repetition builds skill. Repetition builds trust in themselves. Reinforcement phrase, discipline is not a mood. Discipline is a routine. Discipline is a system. Closing statement. If you wait for discipline to strike, you will wait forever. Build the system first. Set the rules. Remove choice. Remove excuses. Follow the structure relentlessly, day after day. Systems don't ask for permission. Systems don't care if you feel like it. And that is exactly why systems win. And that is why you will start winning too. Chapter 4. Lower the bar, raise the standard. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need perfect conditions. You need one thing, to show up. And showing up doesn't have to be grand. The smallest action, done consistently, beats the biggest effort done sporadically. Lower the bar for your entry point, but never lower the standard for what you will accept from yourself. This is the hidden power of momentum. Small actions that are non-negotiable create unstoppable results. Key point 1. Small actions. Compound. You don't need hours of effort to win. 10 minutes done daily outweighs 2 hours done inconsistently. Consistency multiplies results. Real-world example. A musician practicing 15 minutes every day becomes better in a year than one who practices sporadically for 2 hours weekly. Small action compounds into mastery. Reinforcement phrase, small enough to start, strong enough to count. Key point 2. Standards, not motivation, define you. Motivation is temporary, but standards are permanent. Showing up consistently, even in boredom or discomfort, cements identity. Real-world example. A writer commits to 1 paragraph per day. No excuses, no exceptions. The paragraph is small, but over a year the manuscript grows. Standards do the heavy lifting. Reinforcement phrase, never lower the standard. Lower the barrier to starting. Key point 3. Momentum is built, 1 step at a time. Waiting for energy or inspiration delays everything. Start small, start now. That small step builds momentum that carries you forward. Real-world example. A runner doesn't need a marathon-length run every day. 10 minutes out the door creates motion. Motion builds momentum. Momentum leads to bigger steps. Reinforcement phrase, start small. Build momentum. Never stop moving. Closing statement. Stop overthinking how much effort you need to make a difference. Lower the bar for starting. Raise the standard for completion. Small actions done consistently create unstoppable momentum. Show up, repeat, move forward, and watch as the compounding effect of small, disciplined actions transforms your life faster than you ever imagined. Chapter 5. Stop asking yourself how you feel. Stop asking yourself how you feel. Your feelings are not instructions, they are information. They tell you what you're experiencing, but they do not tell you what to do. Waiting for the right feeling is the fastest way to stay stuck. The most successful people act first, feel later, and every time you let feelings decide your action, you lose momentum, you lose control, and you lose time. You can't recover. Key point 1. Feelings are information, not instructions. Emotions happen, but they are not commands. You can acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. Real-world example. A writer feels fear before starting a project. They don't wait for courage. They write anyway. Action produces confidence, not the other way around. Reinforcement phrase. Feelings tell. Action decides. Key point 2. Waiting weakens. Every time you delay because of how you feel, you reinforce hesitation. Waiting trains the brain to avoid discomfort instead of conquering it. Real-world example. A student feels unmotivated to study. They check social media instead. Hours are gone. Learning doesn't wait for your mood. You fall behind while feelings linger. Reinforcement phrase, waiting obeys feelings. Moving defies them. Key point 3. Action overrides emotion. Movement silences doubt. Doing the work produces clarity and energy. Acting creates momentum that emotion can then ride. Real-world example. A runner steps outside despite dread. Within minutes, the mind clears, energy rises, and motivation follows the action. Reinforcement phrase, do first, feel later, always. Closing statement, You have been asking the wrong question all along. Stop asking how you feel. Stop letting your emotions hold the reins. Step, move, act. The feeling will follow, but action must lead. Every moment you act without permission from your emotions, you train yourself to be unstoppable. This is how momentum is built. This is how consistency wins. This is how you move without motivation and never stop. Chapter 6. Consistency builds identity. Consistency is not a habit. It is your identity. Every time you follow through, every time you show up, you cast a vote for who you are becoming. Inconsistent action creates doubt. Sporadic effort creates weakness. Repetition builds strength, trust, and control. If you want to change your life, you don't need more inspiration. You need to act enough times that your actions define you. Key point 1. Every action is a vote. Each time you act, you reinforce the person you are becoming. One small task done repeatedly outweighs sporadic bursts of effort. Real-world example. A writer commits to 1 paragraph per day. Each paragraph is small, but in 1 year, a book is finished. Consistency created identity. Reinforcement phrase, what you do repeatedly becomes who you are. Key point 2. Self-trust comes from repetition. Trust yourself to show up once builds confidence to show up again. Missing a day erodes trust. Repeating action strengthens it. Real-world example. Athletes trust their training schedule because it never lies. They show up. They follow the plan. They trust themselves to execute. Reinforcement phrase, do it once, do it again. Trust grows with every repeat. Key point 3. Standards become automatic. Standards are meaningless if they are not practiced consistently. Daily action turns standards into a natural part of who you are. Real-world example. Someone who writes, exercises, or studies every day doesn't think about whether to act. They simply follow their standards automatically. Reinforcement phrase, consistency doesn't create pressure, it creates identity. Closing statement. Stop hoping identity will appear magically. Stop waiting for motivation to shape who you are. Your identity is built in the repetition, in the non-negotiable actions, in showing up when no one is watching. Cast your votes today. Cast your votes tomorrow. And over time, your actions will no longer require a choice. They will define you. This is how self-trust is earned. This is how momentum becomes unstoppable. This is how you become the person who moves without motivation. Chapter 7. Move first. Think later. Overthinking kills action. Hesitation steals momentum. Every moment you pause to analyze, plan, or wait for the perfect time, opportunity slips through your fingers. You don't think your way into movement. You move your way into clarity. The mind only catches up after the body takes the first step. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. The most successful people act first, think later, and they dominate because they move while others are still debating. Key point 1. Action silences doubt. Thinking too much creates paralysis. Movement breaks the cycle instantly. You do not need permission from your mind to start. You need the courage to act. Real-world example. A musician hesitates to start a song. They play one note. Doubt disappears. The rest of the song follows naturally. Reinforcement phrase, motion silences doubt. Motion creates clarity. Motion wins. Key point 2. Decisions delay results. Every extra second spent debating is a second lost. Momentum is built through immediate action, not delayed planning. Real-world example. Entrepreneurs who launch imperfect products quickly gain feedback and progress faster than those waiting for perfection. Waiting is the slowest path to mastery. Reinforcement phrase: decide fast, move faster. Results reward speed. Key point 3. Movement breeds momentum. One step creates another. One action triggers the next. Movement is contagious internally. Action fuels motivation, energy, and consistency. Real-world example. A runner steps outside despite dread. Within minutes, resistance fades, energy rises, and the habit strengthens. Action precedes motivation every single time. Reinforcement phrase: step, then the next, then the next. Momentum follows motion. Closing statement: stop overthinking. Stop waiting. Stop negotiating with your emotions, your comfort, or your doubts. Move first. Think later. Every step you take compounds into unstoppable momentum. Every action strengthens your discipline. Every motion proves you can do what you said you would do. This is the path of the person who moves without motivation. This is the path of unstoppable progress. This is how winners operate. Silently, deliberately, relentlessly. Closing. You don't need motivation. You need action. You've learned how motivation fails, how feelings lie, and how discipline is a system, not a mood. You've learned to start small, repeat consistently, and act before thinking. You've learned that every action casts a vote for who you are becoming. Waiting is wasted time. Hesitation is defeat. Overthinking is paralysis. From this moment, you move first. You act without desire. You do it anyway. You lower the bar to start, but you never lower the standard. You show up. You repeat. You trust yourself. You build identity through consistency. Momentum is created by motion, not emotion. Control is earned by obedience, not inspiration. Your challenge is simple. Today, take one action you've been avoiding. Do it without hype. Do it without feeling ready. Then repeat tomorrow. This is how you move, without motivation. This is how you win quietly. And this is how your life finally change. One deliberate step at a time.